Okay, hello guys, welcome once again to another painting live streaming with digital creatives. My name is Ruben Martinez and I will with you this Friday because the last Monday I can't make the live streaming, and today I will do in the next following hour, as you probably know, talking and chatting and painting about the new Kickstarter that Big Chives Creatives launched the last 1st July. His name is Echoes of Camelot, and you could find in Kickstarter. And first of all, we want to say to you thank you very much for your support. All of us are still amazed for the beginning of the campaign, and this overwhelmed our expectations in every way. So thank you from the heart of from all the team from Big Child Creatives, because you are so amazing, guys. Thank you so much. Hello, first to come is Sacha. Hello Sacha. Hello Mikael. How are you? So I assume that the sound and the image is good. It's something that I like to check in order to go on the video. So let me show you a little bit of the campaign because probably you already know the campaign, such we know that you are there, so thank you again for your support. And in the case that some of you didn't know what I'm talking about, let me take a look to the campaign for you. So let me change the screen. Okay, and let me shoot this because I love this. Okay, I love the intro video. Is more epic than Manowar, I think. And in the case that things are running faster than us, so sorry in advance if we couldn't make the news in time, because we didn't expect the results of the first day. So I'll show you some of the characters that which are the main for the campaign, the first four of the campaign. This is Morgana, absolutely wonderful, I think, sculpted by Hugo Gomez Briones and painted by Krzysztof Kowalczyk. All the characters was designed by Pedro Núñez, and this is one of his works. I love this man. And this is, you probably saw the painted version, not the finished one in the last live streaming. Okay, and a lot of characters from the round table, you know, Lancelot. This is the Marmas Clans version. Oops. Amazing as well. Merlin. This is a special view from each side of the characters, okay? So maybe some of you didn't think in a younger Merlin, I think. But I think the design for Pedro Núñez was brilliant, and this is the painted version by Arnau Lázaro and sculpted by Daniel Truchot. And many more to come. This is sculpted by Alejandro Muñoz and painted by Miguel Matias, but probably you will see more of this character today. So let's go under the down of the screen, because some news are about to come. Okay, this is the Women of the Lake. Is sculpted by Hugo Gomez Briones and painted by Andy Wardle. He is another of our collaborators, so thank you from here to all of you, because you made such great work for the campaign, and without you this can be possible as well. And this is the one thing that I want to show you, because is the special figure, Kickstarter exclusive figure of this campaign, Sir Galahad, mounted in a war horse. So this is something, probably the most new thing that I want to comment, and probably you have missed this release. So yes, this miniature will be in this Kickstarter as well. This is Uther, the father of Arturo, sculpted by Adrian Rio and painted by Michal Picharski. Yeah, is obviously Michal Picharski. Great job. And Mordred, sculpted by Alejandro Muñoz, again, crazy guy with the tiling textures and so on. It's amazing. And painted by David Arroba, of course. Okay. And this is one of the latest characters that we have unlocked. You have unlocked, indeed. And I think Percival will be one of the most funny characters for painting, because the lightning effects of the fire, you know. And he is the king of Camelot, King Arthur's, and we are still trying to make the actualizations faster for you. So sorry in advance if we are taking our time because we are overwhelmed by your support. And because of that, we are so grateful about this support. We are working in more stuff for you, so is our way to say thank you again for this incredible campaign that you are made in Echoes of Camelot. Okay, so let me back again to see your comments. Okay, I see your comment. Yeah. Hello everyone. Hello to the newcomers. Gracias Jordi, me alegro que os haya gustado. Es un subidón para nosotros porque es verdad que hay tanto trabajo detrás que hay veces que os guste tanto es como la mejor recompensa para nosotros, porque al fin y al cabo este tipo de proyectos no es otra cosa que para que lo disfrutéis vosotros y si damos con algo que os gusta tanto, para nosotros es un motivo de alegría increíble. Así que nada, espero que disfrutéis las figuras tanto como nosotros hemos disfrutado haciéndolas, así que ahora os toca a vosotros pintarlas cuando las tengáis en la mano, que será seguro más pronto que tarde, y a disfrutarlo. ¿Qué tal José Luis? Buenas tardes. Luis Alberto, buenas tardes. Hola Carlos, Stefan, hi Stefan, once again, it's a pleasure to see you here. Where is Sir Lancelot? He's a silent in the lonely mountain, I think, but he will come. I think for the next week we will retake the normal scheme for the live streaming. So I'll be with you again on Monday, and Jaime will be with you on Friday again. Okay. ¿Qué pasa, Iván? Muchas gracias, tío. Buenas tardes, Álvaro. Okay, so as always, don't be shy. Ask whatever you want about the campaign because we are so excited. We love to talk about. And if you want, and if you have some ideas for the campaign, why not? Shoot that because we are looking for the best thing for your likeness. And this is the best way I think that this can be done. So I hope to make it richer between all of us. Okay? Okay, so we have a special guest for the live streaming of today. So probably you already saw it, this Greek sculpt from Alejandro Muñoz and the painted version from Miguel Matias. Okay, so I think it could be funny to make some live streaming with this character, and I'll show you today how to approach the initial sketch of the miniature, where you could have some decisions about the lining, the color, and so on. And in this stage is where you make changes more easily. Okay. I'm with you, Mark. Is absolutely amazing, and I think this miniature have a lot of possibilities. You could paint it in a lot of different ways because the texture that have the miniature allows you to paint making a lot of washes, using oils, making a lot of textures, or you could make another approach more traditional. Okay, you could make whatever you want. I'm thinking about to to add to the miniature some foliage and grass and leaves from the scenery kits on the market. But you could do that, of course. This miniature is incredible, I think. And at the end, the design from Pedro Núñez is the secret to make this character with such personality and composition in the sculpture. So what can we say? If you like it, is our best prize for us. Okay, so as I said before, I think this character have a lot of possibilities when it's talking about to paint. So okay, he's called the Green Knight, and the initial thinking for every one of us is to paint this character in green, which is okay, and the concept art is made in this way. But you could paint in whichever color you want, I think. And this is the funny part of painting miniatures, and let the imagine flow. Okay, so I want to propose you some different schemes to play around with this guy. So I think about he's like a spirit of the forest, and I thinking that the forest is a living thing, and his appearance depends of the decision that you are. Okay, so I think for myself, why not to paint the autumn version, for example, or the winter one, or the summer one, or the spring one. Okay, but I liked the warm colors, and I found that the autumn version is more of my likeness to play around with the miniature. Okay, so blue, for example, why not? Why not? I've made a search on YouTube, no, on Google, okay, and I found some images when I searched for autumn forest, and this is what I get. A lot of pictures, beautiful pictures, and I want to comment with you. This is one of the ways that I look for color schemes for miniatures. Natural references, okay? I think in the nature is where the colors are found in more natural way. Something repetitive, I think, but this is the truth. I search for color schemes in the deep of the sea, and this kind of thing. You saw some tutorials from me, and this is something that I like to do. So for this guy, I think that this color scheme will be nice. I have in all the pictures some orange, some reds, some greens, some deeper shadows, I think, some blues hues, and after searching a little bit, I found this image that could be interesting for my characters. Okay, in this picture you'll see that the trunk of the trees are not brown. You could make the wood in many different hues. So I like to make something different from this character for you this evening. So let's make a try, and we use some green, some red, some orange, some creamy colors for the good, and why not some green, because at the end he is the Green Knight. Okay, so probably I will add some green in the cape. very dark green instead. Hi Robert, how are you? Nice to see you there. Robert is waiting for one of these miniatures to make his magic as well, so I can't wait to see what you make with these little guys. Okay, guys. So for this painting scheme, I think could be interesting. So, what do you think? could work, or it could be a disaster? Let's try. I will use, as I said before, some orange. Okay, this will be maybe my main color of my color scheme. Okay, so I will put some orange on my palette, of course, some red, why not? Those are the colors for the autumn, I think. And at the end of this live streaming, you could see the wet palette like a forest in autumn, I hope. Because if this happens, something good it will be happen with my color scheme as well. Some green, okay, you can, of course you can, but if you paint everything with warm colors, okay, you not get difference or temperature contrast, okay. So I need to add to my palette some cold colors, okay, like green is not color. It's not colder as, for example, blue, but green has some blue. So this will be fine in order to have some cold colors, okay? And why not maybe a touch of blue in some parts will be nice. Okay, so I think with these colors are pretty okay in order to make the main color scheme. Of course, I need some yellow. I will add, instead of yellow, some ochre. For example, this one I think will be better. This is like some kind of yellow, but as you could see, the difference is not saturated as pure yellow, okay? But I think ochre will maintain things more natural for my purposes. Okay, I'm putting some ochre. This is a light ochre, okay, so could be used to add some light to some points, okay? And I will use, for the lighter colors of the lights, some, as I said in all the live streaming, this color is some kind of ochre, but with some white. This means that this color will be fine to add lights to my mixes, okay? Because it's like if I adding white and rising my values on the mixes, okay? If you don't understand something what I'm saying, just ask, please, because I like to talk about saturation, values, and so on. I think it's better to talk about mixing and correcting the value, the saturation of the colors, instead of tell to you, okay, take some warpstone glow and mix with some flyer one flash. This is a recipe that could be okay, but this not be natural for your painting. So if you could start to get familiar with this concept, saturation, hue, and value, with the time you'll see how you flow better in when it's to painting miniatures, to create color schemes and so on, ¿ok? Ok, chicos, pues lo que estaba comentando un poco en inglés, perdón por la larga explicación, es que voy a darle a este personaje un aire un poco distinto al que tiene en el concept, porque yo creo que tiene un montón de posibilidades de pintura y la verdad es que, ok, vale que se llama el Caballero Verde. ¿Qué tal, Isra? ¿Cómo estás? Buenas tardes, tío. Y bueno, vale que se llama el Caballero Verde, pero al final no deja de ser como un espíritu del bosque. Y bueno, pues cuando ya estaba pensando yo en los bosques y tal, dije, bueno, es que los bosques no siempre están verdes, ¿no? Entonces, como se pueden hacer distintas versiones, yo creo que es lo bonito de la pintura de fantasía y bueno, vosotros ya sabéis que nosotros pocos orcos verdes hemos pintado, ¿no? Entonces, pues con esto yo creo que se puede hacer un poco lo mismo. Entonces, me gustaría pasar una tarde con vosotros divertida, probando cosas nuevas y para que veáis las posibilidades que tenéis con estas figuras. He elegido, pues, por ejemplo, una versión más otoñal, ¿no? Así que pues he mirado en Google pues unas cuantas fotos de bosques en otoño y la conclusión final que he sacado es que los colores del otoño son muy cálidos, son naranjas, sobre todo naranja, luego rojos, magentas. Bueno, por cierto, he olvidado el magenta, raro en mí. Voy a añadirlo por si acaso, por si acaso. Es verdad que sin magenta no pinto. Raro en mí. Estoy flasheado todavía con lo de la campaña. Bueno, ok. Entonces me he puesto en la paleta todos los colores un poquito que voy a necesitar para hacer un sketch rápido de luces y sombras en general. Y he usado pues naranjas, rojos, magenta. Y luego también he añadido colores para añadir luces, como son el ocre y un ocre todavía más clarito con blanco. Y luego también he añadido algún color frío, como es el verde, y un poquito de azul para alguna sombra máxima que me puede interesar, meter un poquito más de colores fríos, porque si pintamos todo con colores cálidos nos puede quedar muy ambientado, pero al final sí que es verdad que está mejor cuando utilizas también algún color frío para complementar, para contraponer, por decirlo así, y complementar esos colores tan cálidos, es crear un balance y un contraste mayor al final, ¿ok? Siempre os estoy hablando de contrastes de temperatura, de valores, de los colores, de saturación. Prefiero hablaros en estos términos. Si tenéis alguna duda, por favor preguntadme, que ya sabéis que estoy encantado de responderos las dudas, pero creo que es mejor que empecemos a hablar con estos términos. Porque al final, si yo, es lo que también comentaba, si os digo, mezcláis este color, el rojo sangre, con el azul medianoche y tal, es una mezcla que puede estar bien para empezar, pero también puedes empezar con este otro sistema, que realmente es un sistema que se ha utilizado por los siglos de los siglos. Amén. Entonces, vamos a ver, tampoco se inventa nada hablando de valores, tal, esto lo utilizaban ya los pintores clásicos. Entonces yo creo que no es tan difícil y según lo vayamos utilizando y escuchando, pues yo creo que os sentiréis más cómodos también con estos términos. Ok, guys, so let's start. As always, I'll be making some color scheme in the wall miniature to make a quick sketch that will be my initial sketch. Okay, after that I need to define, to add a lot of definition and work. So in this step I don't look for definition, precision and this kind of things. This comes later. Okay, so now I will try to use a color scheme which works in this miniature and placing lights and shadows in the correct parts. Okay, the correct parts are the ones that the priming suggests me. but I could change the way that the priming fall into the miniature, okay? But as you could see here in the leg is a clear plane of light in this side of the cylinder of the leg, and in the downside is the plane of shadow, okay? And in the transition of light and shadow will be the middle tone, okay? So I'll put this light and this shadow for this step, okay? And I will using a technique that I love to use in these bigger and complex miniatures that allows me to achieve a smoother gradients from the beginning and make some kind of ambience, because it's allowed me to mix the colors onto the miniature. This technique. ¿Qué tal, Ricardo? ¿Cómo pasas de ser colorista a ser artista? Bueno, pues yo creo que ser colorista es una persona que colorea un poco pues no sé si es a lo que te refieres, pero bueno, una persona que colorea sin pensar mucho en este tipo de cosas, en ambientes, en tal, sino que directamente coges unas recetas que ya las tienes a base de haber pintado muchas veces lo mismo y pintas. Pues bueno, no sé si es eso a lo que te refieres. Luego, ¿cómo pasas a ser artista? Pues tampoco sé muy bien cuándo ya eres artista, pero supongo que tiene también que ver si te estás rompiendo la cabeza con este color no me funciona, o no sé por qué no consigo contraste, o no consigo entonar esto con esto. Yo creo que esas ya son cosas de artista. Luego te tiras esa noche durmiendo mal, pensando en que mañana cuando te levantes pues lo vas a cambiar a ver qué pasa. Y yo creo que esas son cosas... Eso es, ¿no? Bueno, no sé, hay veces que este tipo de figuras es verdad que no tiene sentido a lo mejor pintarlas como si te tuvieras que pintar un ejército. Ojo, lo de ser colorista yo no lo veo tampoco mal. Lo que te digo, si tienes que pintarte un ejército de 300 figuras, no puedes estar pensando en sutilezas, no, tienes que pintar, luz, sombra, venga, perfilas, a correr. Y al final, cuando lo ves todo desplegado en una mesa para jugar, joder, eso queda impresionante. En cambio, pues en una sola figura le puedes echar el mismo trabajo que a lo mejor se le puede echar otra persona en 10 unidades, ya te digo. Y es otro tipo de afrontar las figuras. Me refiero a las figuras ya de exposición y de coleccionismo. Desde mi forma de ver es como pintar un cuadro, porque también manejan los mismos conceptos y ya te digo, cuando te empiezas a rayar con es que este color no me combina con otro, es que no consigo el ambiente que yo quiero porque lo quería debajo la luz de la luna con un lago reflejando, eso ya son cosas de artista que eso ya te tendría que preocupar porque ya estás en el lado oscuro. Pero bueno, son distintos mundos, creo. Okay, guys, so I'll start using, as I said before, the wet blending. It's a technique to blend colors together onto the miniature, okay? And it's the best way to get a smooth gradient between light and shadows. So if I'm painting light and I'm painting shadows, if all of these colors are still wet, I could mix them together one over another to get this smooth gradient, okay? So you will see how I do that in a quick way, okay? So for these steps, I don't know if you sometimes have you been painting with a flat brush. This is a flat brush. Is more used to painting canvas, I think, than miniatures, but I think these kind of brushes are the read and know in the hobby world, I think, because we always use this kind of brushes, which is okay because the sharp tip allows to us to make a very sharp detail onto the miniatures. But when you need to cover some parts widely, you need to move the brush in this direction, parallel to the results. Okay, so with the flat brush, you have the advantage of doing the same, but you don't need to paint in this direction. Okay, you could paint in this direction, which is more natural for the painter. Okay, and you could achieve another texture in your initial sketch. So this is a brush that I use a lot for my initial sketch because I'll cover perfectly the surface and quickly, and allows me to make shapes in my planes of life and shadows. Okay, I'll show you how I do that and how useful could be a flat brush. In the later steps, when it's about to define and make highlights, it's better the pointed brush. Okay, but as I told before, this is later steps, and I'll start to paint because later I don't have enough time to paint everything. So okay, I will paint first of all the good. Okay, for the good I didn't add, let me make a mix of some grayer tone. For the golden parts, I'll mix some blue, some green, and some red in order to make a grayer tone for the shadows of the good. Okay? Something like that, for example. I will make a larger mix because I don't want to run out of paint in the middle of the process. I need to flow with the mixes. Okay, a little bit of magenta I think could be nice, and as you could see, I already mixed a grayer tone which could be nice for my shadows onto the gooden parts. The trunks, I saw an image of a gooden tree, an autumn forest that have creamy colors on the trunks. So for the lights, I will use a lighter color than in my previous ochre. So I will use this one. Is almost white, but it's not white. It's not pure white. Okay. As I always talking before, don't use pure white. Almost for nothing in miniatures. Okay. It's better to use this kind of broken white with a little bit of color. Okay, so I will make a mix for the lights. I'll mix this white with a little bit of the ochre, something like that, and I could use a little bit of blue and a little bit of orange in order to match a little bit with this other color. Okay, I think the contrast will be too much, so I will darken a little bit this mix, something like that. Too much blue, I need a colder tone for these lights, something like that. This is starting to get interesting, this color. Okay, perfect. And I will start to apply them. I have one color for the light and one color for the shadows. Okay, let's start. Yeah, you're right, Marvin. It's very easy to paint miniatures when is with this quality on the sculpt. Sorry, Miguel. Thank you for the advice. Ricardo, has pensado en tener un Patreon. La verdad es que sí, lo hemos pensado muchas veces. Algún día, si pudiéramos sacar tiempo, de momento estamos muy enfocados también en estos proyectos que estáis viendo. Entonces, también damos clases particulares, hacemos cursos también en el estudio aquí en Madrid. Estamos un poco haciendo todo lo que podemos y al final, pues, en la medida que el tiempo te deja, sí que es verdad que hay muchas cosas que sí que nos gustaría por lo menos barajar y hacer. Así que nunca se sabe, igual en algún momento nos lanzamos. Okay, so as you could see, it's very easy to apply this shadow color for the good. Okay, I'm using, I want to remember you, a flat brush to these tags in order to cover quickly the surface. Okay, and to get an even coat with this color. Okay, so when I apply the shadows, maybe I need to dilute my paint a little bit, because this technique is called, don't forget, wet blending. Okay, if the paint is not wet, it will not be called wet blending. Okay, so I am applying a coat of shadows. So now quickly I move on to the light color and I'll apply this color. Okay, and I'll try to make some smoothing with this color and the color that I'm already applied for the shadows. Okay, and you could see one color is going through the other one, making the smoothing of the gradient. Okay, so you could see how easy it is to create light and shadows in this way. You need to work fast, okay, because the paint dries, and more in this time of the summer. Here in Madrid is so warm, so hot, so probably it's difficult to work with this technique. Okay, but I am trying to make my best with these temperatures. In Madrid we are around maybe 40 degrees or something like that, so it's a little bit crazy for painting miniatures. I must to say that it's better the winter for these kind of things. Okay, so I'm painting the wood, as you could see, with the shadows. This part of the shield is all in shadows because the shield is facing down to the floor, so I don't need to paint too much lights on this part. Okay, but in these parts of the shield I will apply some shadows in the downside areas. Okay, and of course some light in the upper parts of this. I want to remember that I want a light wood for this treatment. Okay, so this is why I'm not using browns. Of course you could make a more brownish and dark wood. You could see the version from Miguel Matias is painted in this way and is beautiful. So this is, I want to remember again other option that I want to show you in order to see different things to make, different ways to make things, okay? Avoid the thinking of this can be done only in one way. Okay, this miniature has a lot of detail, so maybe it will take a lot of time to finish the sketch. I'll try to speed up a little bit the process. Maybe I'll try to focus in the main view in this part in order to advance in the process, okay? Okay, in this arm there's some good here. You could make mixes on the wet paint. So if I add here a little bit of magenta, you could see how I could change a little bit the color for these shadows, okay? Something easy to make these kind of things in this step of the process. And now, while this paint is still wet, I will add some lights. In this way, okay? You could start to see some shadows, some lights, and I love to paint in the miniatures everything like an organic process. Okay, some of you paint everything in one part and jump to another part in order to continue with the figure. But I don't like to paint in this way, so I prefer to paint everything at the same time, like it was a wall thing, okay? Let me check your comments. ¿Y el libro para cuándo? Esa es de Jenny Lowe, ¿no, Carol? ¿El libro para cuándo? Bueno, pues un poco, es verdad que para cuando se pueda, pero bueno, sí que nos gustaría hacer tantas cosas. ¿Cuál es tu figura preferida de todas las de la campaña, supongo que te refieres? La verdad es que es difícil quedarse con una solo, porque es cierto que cada una tiene su cosilla, ¿no? O sea, la que no te gusta a lo mejor por una cosa, te gusta por otra. Entonces, a mí, especialmente Shirkai, que es la versión que he pintado, la verdad es que me gustaba mucho y quería probar a pintar así una mini un poco más casi cercana al histórico, porque la verdad es que estoy muy acostumbrado a pintar figuras de fantasía y bueno, era por probar a hacer algo más eso, cercano a minis históricas, y la verdad es que me ha gustado mucho la experiencia. Es bastante divertido. Luego es verdad que este le estoy pintando yo ahora mismo y la verdad es que sorry for the phone. La verdad es que con esta figura se puede hacer un trabajo espectacular. Entonces, este también me parece espectacular. Pero también te diría que cuando veáis al Rey Arturo también vais a flipar. Entonces, no sé, y el Galahad, la figura que va a caballo, esa, la verdad es que yo creo que todas y cada una tienen su puntito. No, no te sabría decir, venga, me voy a mojar. Si me tengo que quedar con una, yo creo que Arturo.
puede ser la que más me mole. Así que cuando la veáis me decís.
Isra, a ver, a ver.
Madre mía, Isra, pues si tú no das crédito, imagínate nosotros. Nosotros sí que no damos crédito. Pero bueno, la verdad es que nos ha alegrado mucho que os guste tanto el trabajo que hemos hecho para la campaña. La verdad es que tampoco nos cansaremos nunca de decirlo y de hecho repito que ya estamos trabajando para daros más cositas para la campaña, o sea que estamos a contrarreloj para tenerlo cuanto antes y que bueno, pues hacer esto lo más grande que podamos y que vosotros disfrutéis de ello lo más posible también.
Yeah, Stephen, you're right.
I love these scopes. Okay, so I'm making these lights and shadows onto the wooden parts. You could see making the wet blending technique is so easy in order to achieve quick results onto these parts. Okay, I almost forgot this one. And why not? The helmet. This guy is something in the middle from a living man and a spirit of the forest. So you could paint it some parts like metallic wooden because it's like is morphing into, it's like a knight is morphing into a tree. It's very nice, the concept. Okay, you could see how I am applying as well some shadows in the chest and now and in the helmet, and now I will paint some lights here. Don't worry about the symbol of the chest because this will be painted later in some kind of metallic, non-metallic metal or something like that. But in this step I need only to apply some lights and some shadows in the correct places. Okay, see how I'm making the transitions in wet in order to speed up the process. Okay, so I almost finished doing this step. Okay, this part is needed some light, and of course for this part of the base I will change a little bit the color, so I will make a little bit brownish and darker, something like that. And again you could see how easy it is to work with the brush, with the flat brush. Okay, you could see how I make this movement in order to paint. I don't need to make this movement to cover the surface like always we need to do with the rounded brush. So I hope that you like the way that this brush is used, and of course will be a very good tool for the painter. I will add some deeper shadows here, mixing light and shadows in wet. Here the feet as well, and I'm you could see the wet palette how I build my mixes, and I mix one color with another in order to make something organic in my miniature, okay? It's not about to make transitions from one color to another and just this. You could start to make the palette, increase the range of the colors, and apply them to the miniature in this way, okay? So this is why I'm sketching the whole miniature at the same time in these steps. Okay, I'm starting to add some colors, but don't worry, because it's like a grayer character, okay? Don't worry, because I will add now some colors from the autumn goods, okay? As you see in the previous pictures that I searched. Now I'm just adding some shadows to these parts. I must admit that the miniature is so funny to paint, okay? You will see it. I hope that you could have the chance to have one of these soon. I'm applying a dark green coat in the cape because this side of the cape is everything in shadow. You could see the black priming flowing. So this means that all of this side of the cape is in shadow. So this means for us that we need to paint it in a darker color, or is the same in a low value color. Okay, here you could see a little bit of white priming, so you could now add a little touch of light. So I'll mix some green with some ochre to increase the value of the green here in this way. Maybe, okay, let's try this green. As I told you before, this is a sketch, so I could change things later. Maybe it's too saturated and too cold, so you could change this light on the spot in this way, just covering the previous layer in this way, and I have changed the temperature of this light. See how easy it is to work in wet and sketching. You don't need to worry about the transitions and the smooth of the areas. You only need to make color coherence in all of these parts, okay? I will add a little touch of this same of green here, okay? Why not? There are some leaves falling in the floor, and this is another trick to make a color composition, to add some colors not in one part, to add different colors in random parts, okay? So I will add this green here and a little bit here. This will make more color coherence onto the miniature, okay? Okay, let's finish the wooden parts in order to make more dramatic color in the miniature, which is the thing that will make it interesting for the viewer, okay? I will make here some kind of metallic wooden part, wooden helmet, okay? And here I'll need to add some shadows in the inner side of the helmet in this way. Okay. And here there are a little bit of groove in this side. So my objective for the first scheme is to cover all the priming parts.
Let me check your comments, because la cara del caballo. Que me pinte la cara del caballo. No entiendo, José. ¿Qué tal, juguete? ¿Cómo vas?
Sí, Ruby, efectivamente. Prefiero pintar todo junto porque sé en todo momento dónde debo colocar las luces y las sombras, ¿vale? Es muy natural pintarlo así todo junto. Pero cuando llegue la parte de definir algo con más cuidado, como tú dices, que tiene cosas muy sobresalientes, y es verdad que te puede costar mucho el llegar a según qué partes y trabajar cómodo, es por eso que tengo un truco especial. Y es esto. Ops. Así que cuando quiera pintar la cara, es tan sencillo como pegarla aquí. Y aquí ya sí que puedo pintarla más fácilmente. Okay guys, here's the little trick that I want to show you. I love to paint the miniature already assembled, but this is because I need to see where I need to put the lights and the shadows and make everything with a coherence, okay? But with a little bit of blue tack in the strategic parts, okay, I could attach and detach the difficult pieces when I need, okay? So this is a little trick that you could use when it's about to paint these larger and complex miniatures, okay? So if I need to see how is working everything together, okay,
this is the trick. So I hope this helps in order to paint these figures that I know that sometimes is difficult to manage these kind of things. Hello Christoph, how are you? Welcome. Está aquí con nosotros también Hugo, que es el jefe de escultura de Bichal y es otro de los que han participado muy activamente en el proyecto. Creo que me está diciendo José que me pinte el caballo o algo así que han modelado ahora recientemente, pero eso necesitaríamos hacer como 15 o 60 live streamings. Pero bueno, la verdad es que Christoph, I think it's a cool technique that could be done for some steps. I think is very useful, the wet blending. So I'll use sometimes wet blending. I sometimes use air blending. That is the usual way that I mix and blend the colors with the airbrush. So at the end, when you have a lot of tools at your disposal, is better because you could use when you want. Okay. ¿Qué tal, Rola? Muy buenas, qué bueno verte por aquí. Eso es verdad, José, si tú ahora no estás trabajando, estás aquí diciendo que pintemos caballos. Me alegro, Rubi, que te haya gustado el truco. La verdad es que es una tontería, porque es verdad que con un poquito de Blue Tack también tengo pegada la espada de esta forma, ¿has visto? Se me mueve, hay que tener cuidado, pero cuando quiera pintar la espada, ya definirla, ya le quito la espada. Y lo mismo con el escudo también lo puedo quitar, si te fijas. Luego ya esto es mucho más cómodo pintarlo en esta forma. Pero en mi sketch inicial necesito poner las luces y las sombras en sitios lógicos. Entonces, siempre, siempre, siempre me gusta tener la miniatura lo más montada que pueda, ¿ok? So this is the trick that with a little blue tack in the strategic pieces, which will be more harder to paint, is very useful to paint this kind of complex miniatures like this one. So I hope you like it. Hello Fabrizio, how are you? Glad to see you. Fabrizio is waiting some guys from this campaign, so we hope to see your work onto those ones as soon as possible. Okay, guys, so let's talk more paint. I know, sorry for that. I will be adding more colors from the autumn thematic that I choose at the beginning of the live streaming. So I will mix some orange, okay, in this way, and I will mix some magentas, for example, for other parts, in order to create different hues, warmer hues for the leaves and the foliage. And of course I need some kind of greenish tone in order to compensate all of these reds, orange, and all of these. So for this I mix some orange, some red, and some ochre, and of course some green. It's so funny to paint mixing. So I could give you some recipes for you with exact quantities, but give it a try. Make your own mix, and the result will be different, but be your own result. So it's perfectly okay. If you are taking care in the explanation, I'm using only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 colors, and I'm mixing all together. This is my palette, 8 colors. So this will make things more natural and will give more ambience to my miniature. This is the trick. If you are using 20 pots of colors in your miniatures, at the end you will running the risk to have some strange color combinations, okay? But using 8 colors is very difficult to have something weird and strange in your scheme. So here comes the touch of the color that in Big Child we love to do it. Okay, so this is the color of the autumn. Something like that. I don't want to apply this color in every part of the foliage. I need to make some gradations and variations with the previous mixes that I made with orange, like this. I'm again mixing in wet and making little touches, of course. Sometimes you need to clean your brush in order to take some colors.
without the previous one. Okay, okay, some touches of ochre, this time to reinforce some lights. Here as well, random touches of the ochre tone, you know. Again, of course, I need to add some green in these parts. I think the green will make things more natural, like this. If you don't mind, I will extend the live streaming a little bit, because at the end, today is Friday. We are waiting for the weekend, and at the end all the day extend the live streaming a little bit. For me, it's a pleasure to be with you, painting these wonderful miniatures. Okay, so the trick here is to make it random, okay, to make the sensation of something natural and organic. And in this part, the wet blending is especially useful to make this kind of transitions. Of course, this is a base coat with some lights and some shadows. Later you need to define all of this. But I think it's a good starting point for your miniature. You could start now to see better what is happening here with this guy. Okay. What do you think about the color scheme? Is crazy enough? Okay, I almost forget to paint one important part, because until you don't paint every white part of the priming coat, you will see the miniature a little bit weird. So the horns of the helmet needs to be painted, because they have a lot of white, and this fact is disturbing or color compensation, I think. So for this part I will use some kind of ochre like this. And for the end of the horns, I will darker the gradient. So again, I will make some wet blending to darken these parts of the horns. Okay, I will paint these horns with the technique of detach this part. Okay, now I'll use another little bit of blue tack to paint this part. Okay, this will be more comfortable for me in order to paint these more difficult to reach parts. Okay, so I'm painting lights on the horns, and now with a dark color, for example something like this, to mix in dark colors is okay if you mix one color with his complementary colors. Okay. Hello, Sosi. How are you? Please be welcome to the live streaming. It's nice. Today we are a lot of people. I'm happy because of that. Okay, I'm making some darker colors for the end of the horns. Okay, and applying the wet blending technique, I'm starting to see some quick results over these parts. Again, as I told before, for every part, later you will need to apply some definition work, sharpening the lights and shadows, okay, with your pointed brush. I'm using, again, as a reminder, the flat brush, so this is very, very useful for these steps, as you are noticing. Hello, Miklos, how are you? If you are with some beer and watching the live streaming, is for sure better than the TV show. I'm glad that you are there. Today we are many people in the live streaming. It's a pity because I don't have enough time to finish the miniature. But we have more days to make more painting with you. Okay, so with the other horn, I will make in the opposite way. I'll start with adding some darker tone at the edge of the horns. Okay, something like that. Okay, I make some reinforcement of the shadow here, and now I will apply the lighter one before the darker dries. Remember, this is why it's called wet blending, because you need to make it in wet. Okay, I'm always afraid to be out of the camera, but you'll see how different is the miniature when I paint the different parts and erase the white prime coat. Okay, is again this part of the helmet needs to be painted, so I will apply a base coat for this one. Again, this is a nice part to experiment a little bit with the wet blending, so I could make some gradient in this part. For example, something like that. And now I will use a darker color like I did in the horns to make the gradient from light to less light. See how the colors are mixed, and I'm achieving some kind of brownish tone in general. I will add a little bit of red, so I take a little bit of red with my brush and apply while the other color is still wet. And that's everything you need in order to make a color scheme for your miniatures. Oops. Again, now that we are many people, I want to thank you again for your support. We are still amazed with the campaign, the results, and the support from you in the first day. So, guys, you are incredible. Thank you so much. Okay, so I'm now ready. Okay, I'll take advantage that I don't have any horn in this part disturbing my brush, so I will take advantage of this and I will apply some reddish hues in these parts. Why not? And some red is needed here as well. Base. I'm mixing on the spot sometimes in order to fill some gaps that I found on the miniature. Is okay. I'm near to have more or less my main sketch ready for this guy, so I hope to like it, and this will give you some ideas in order to approach these miniatures. Okay, some shadows on the back side of the seal is needed. I will reinforce some shadows here, and again I think that maybe a good color for this part of the cloth will be some kind of green. Why not? At the end is the Green Knight, so I'm trying to add some green in the whole scheme, and I think this touch of color is not bad for this part. I think is a good scheme. It was a good choice at the end. I was lucky, I suppose. Okay, guys. Okay. As I told before, the white priming is disturbing the results, the real results. So I'll try to cover it quickly in order to show you the preview of the work done today. Okay, I like the sword in some magical metal make of something orange. And towards the end of the sword I will apply some darkened colors like I did in the horns, for example. This kind of gradients and transitions are always nice. Okay. Okay. And now I will paint quickly these edges from the silt in order to avoid the white priming and show you the final result for my starting sketch. Okay. Okay. The metals will be nice if I do in some kind of bronze, I think. So this will be something maybe for the future. Okay, done. And now I will cover the last part. Perfect. It's so funny to paint this miniature. Oh my god. I could be with you here hours. So if you can flee up, do it, because I will be here for hours. I'll start boring you. Okay. I will retouch a little bit some lights and done. Now at this point it's very easy to make more retouches, adding more lights here, more shadows there, and so on. You know, when you have the miniature more advanced, it's easy to take this kind of decisions to add this color here, the other color there, and so on. So this is why I'm talking about before, to not stay focused on one part, finish that part and jump onto the other part, okay? Okay, let's put the helmet onto this guy and see what happens. Okay. Let me apart a little bit the wet palette in order to show you better the miniature. And this is the result for the miniature in this painting session. So I hope that you like it, took some ideas for your purposes. I want to see your own versions of different seasons of this guy. So again, we would like to thank you for your support during this couple of days of campaign. So stay tuned, because a lot of days left. We are working hard to give you many thanks for your support, and in order to make different and more new stuff for you. So we hope to make the bigger campaign that you see ever in the miniature world. So we hope to make it together with you. So thank you so much. I hope you like it, and remember, next Monday I think I will be with you again, or yeah, and next Wednesday will be David Arroba, and Friday Jaime de Garnica, making these live streamings about Echoes of Camelot miniatures. So stay tuned and stay painting, and overall stay safe, mates. Bye bye. Have a nice weekend.